Welcome to Coast, where we're attempting to ride from Central Coast to Wollongong via the Blue Mountains over 5 days. This series is a realistic day in the life of bikepacking as we follow gravel roads, fire trails, old stock routes, and whatever else the map decides to throw at us. It's just 2 bikes, some gear, and a rough plan. Welcome to Day 1. Day 1 started with optimism and a train ride from Sydney to Gosford. We dipped our toes in the ocean, pushed through long weekend traffic, and set our sights on the forest trails ahead. But between detours, steep climbs, and the first hit of fatigue, we quickly realised this trip was going to be much harder than we had thought. Here's how it started. It's 5 a.m. Time to ride. We were up early, packed, dressed, and caffeinated before sunrise. I met Tyler at Central Station and we jumped on the train to Gosford, which gave us time to mentally prepare for what we were about to put ourselves through. Once we arrived, we popped into Woolies to top up on supplies. So we are at the Gosford Woolworths. I'm here taking care of Tyler's bike, and I think from here we only need to grab a couple things, something for lunch and something for breakfast tomorrow. Beyond that, we've got dinner packed. And also, I guess we want to grab a few snacks along the way. I'm thinking lots of lollies. But beyond that, I don't actually know what else to get. Maybe some like hot cross buns or thereabouts. We'll see what Tyler comes back with, and maybe he'll inspire me with a few things. Alright. Get me some sticks. That should be good. Chip and peanut butter. Let's get all those. Now, I need some hydrolytes. Sometimes they're in a slightly different section. There they are. Let's get one of these. Alright, one more thing. Something savory. Let's do that. I'm thinking like a croissant or some kind of bun.
Follow the pin pad prompts to finalize your payment.
I grabbed a Cheddarmite scroll, some lollies and electrolytes. From there we had one small but important mission: to get to the beach. That would be our official starting line. Just done 15k so far. All of it's been on some pretty hectic main roads, but we're now just at the turn off to some quieter back streets, so hopefully less hectic. Been doing like a mix of footpaths and then the main road when we had no other option. It's been okay, traffic's been pretty reasonable, but you just never know sometimes, so playing it on the safe side. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, we made it to the beach. I think the plan is, rather than take the bikes in, we dip a toe in and get out of here. I didn't actually capture myself dipping my toes in here, but you get the gist of what happened. Alright, that begins the trip, coast to coast, via the Blue Mountains. It's already begun. Okay, just stopping off at a service station to top up on water. We might get some caffeine as well. I might get a... From the beach, we made our way towards Tuggerah with the intention of hitting some gravel roads through Ourimbah State Forest. We battled through the weekend Easter holiday traffic, and we were really looking forward to getting onto some real gravel. Unfortunately, we hit a bit of a roadblock. What looked like a route through on the map turned out to be inside a water catchment area, with gates and signs making it clear that access was not allowed. So we hit a bit of a roadblock, but we've got a couple of alternative routes that we can try.
A few moments later.
Alright, I'm here with Tyler. Tyler, how you going?
Oh, good, Prowie. Just been a great morning, really, you know?
So good. We've just, I don't know how to flip the camera, we've just hit the first part of our gravel adventure after 40 long, arduous Ks. How do you feel about it?
Looking forward to getting off the pavement and onto some trails. It's been good though.
Awesome, let's go. We were greeted straight away with a long, steady climb up to the top. The trail followed Red Hill Top and wound its way through the forest. The climb was tough and I was definitely feeling it, but it was good to finally be off the road and surrounded by trees. It was warm, I was working hard, but honestly, just grateful to be out there and riding. This was our first proper taste of gravel for the trip, and it really delivered. Though, things were getting tough. We were running low on water, the sun was out, and it felt like we were riding through the middle of nowhere. I myself was struggling personally since I hadn't ridden much in the last year or so. I had that feeling where you start questioning how far it is to the next of everything and almost had a small panic attack over the mission that lied ahead. Eventually, we stumbled across a place called the Hub of Mangrove Mountain. There, we were greeted with cold drinks, snacks, and a tap to fill up our water bottles. It could not have come at a better time. Alright, it's walk time, 70 k's down. We're at a place called The Hub at Mangrove Mountain. Ty, how you feeling?
Yeah, it's been a bit more elevation than I was expecting, but very keen to chill out for a bit and then see how the other goes.
Yeah, we're both feeling pretty cooked. I think I'm feeling more cooked than Ty, but what do you reckon? 20 more k's to the campsite?
Yeah.
And then another 20 k's to St Albans if we feel like pushing it, but we'll see. Anyway, time for a quick snack. See you later. So we're just filling up on water. Pretty sure this water's not drinkable, so we're gonna have to filter it, which is not a big deal. We both have filters with us, but it's just a bit of a pain. I was super grateful for the break. A bit of sugar, a bit of shade, and suddenly I felt like I had fresh legs again. From there we kept climbing, heading towards Dharug National Park. It was still warm, the trails were slow, but I felt like we were back in it. There is a gate. I think we're okay. It's just a no motorbikes kind of deal. You're a smart man.
Yep, you got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Nice. Very good. Oh, how nice is this? Today's goal was to reach 10 Mile Hollow, but we did toss up pushing up further to St Albans. The idea of a hot meal was tempting, but it would have meant riding well into the night. The one thing working against us though was the trail itself. It was only just rideable on our gravel bikes. It was slow, rocky, and technical in places. Progress was steady, but it was far from fast. Oh no. Oh well. Nice. We reached 10 Mile Hollow just before dark and topped up on our water. Rider update. We're topping up on some water. Whilst this is a nice campsite, there's still about half an hour of daylight left, so we're planning to keep riding until it gets dark and find a suitable clearing along the way and save ourselves some Ks for tomorrow. And I guess not go to the pub. Sad face. Okay, we're on 8 Mile Trail now. Alright, 8 hours and 18 minutes, 91 kilometers. We found our abode for tonight. Not long after sunset, we found a small clearing just off the trail. It was nothing fancy, but flat enough to pitch the tents and call it a night. It had been a solid first day, not exactly what we planned, but it was a good start. Day 1 was meant to ease us in, but it ended up being a bit of a shock to the system. The heat, the detours, the climbs, and the realization that 5 days might not be enough to do everything we had planned. Still, we had made it. First night on the trail, tucked away in the bush, tired but content. Tomorrow, we'd ride to Wiseman's Ferry and tackle the biggest climb and day of the trip. Stay tuned for day 2 because it will be a big one.